Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday night to our team Zoom. My name is Harlequin Murray. I'm your co-host, and I just realized I forgot to turn my video back on. But anyways, welcome everybody. I hope you're having a fabulous day and that you had a great Thanksgiving. And looking forward to getting some things done before the end of the year. But as I said, my name is Harlequin. I'm your co-host, and pretty much everybody on here is on Ellen Winn's team. She is my personal sponsor, and she's the leader of our team. But just a welcome to all of the new people who are on here this evening. If this is your first time, we're excited that you're here with us on our team Zoom, and welcome to the team. But I'm gonna go a little bit quicker tonight. Ellen is very tired. She's been working with her limo business quite a bit this weekend, so we're gonna try and make this a quick evening. But for those of you who are new, a little bit about her background. She grew up in Dallas, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta, and she grew up on a farm out in Dallas. But anyway, she has a very strong background in the restaurant industry as well as training within the restaurant industry. She owned her own restaurant, a couple of restaurants actually, pizza restaurants. So she's got experience as a business owner, and she also was introduced to the network marketing industry and has been very strong in that. She was actually the national training director of a network marketing company whenever I first met her. But I've known Ellen for about 18 years now. She's a very strong leader within DAC. She is an area director and has a lot of experience that we can take advantage of. But anyways, without further ado, Miss Ellen, can you go ahead and take it away?
I'm like you, Harlequin, had trouble there with my camera. Awesome. Yes, I can. Let me make sure my phone is muted so it doesn't go off here in the background. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. What a great week it was. Many of you reached out, and I saw your family gatherings for Thanksgiving. So I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving over the holiday weekend. But I also hope that you had some opportunities to talk to people about our new services, right? From our healthcare to our prescription drug program and the expansion that we're about to start seeing here with DAC. I was looking at our recruiting page earlier, and they've already started making some verbiage changes on there. It's not specifically about business funding. So I look forward to seeing a couple of new videos pop up real quick in the next day or two. I know David is working on that. So things will be changing as far as our message for recruiting. But I want to get us kicked off in slideshow mode like I do every week. We'll do some team recognition and go through some training. We have opened up the chat box tonight. If you'll take a look at that, I think that you guys have the ability to chat to everyone. We do. I did get that open. Okay, good. So at some point, we'll probably be asking for some feedback in the chat. As I go through some information, write down any questions that you have, because we'll be doing question and answer at the end here. But let me get us in slideshow mode and get us kicked off. We'll go through some new slides. These are part of the new presentation that I did last week, just a couple of them, just to, again, we always have a lot of new people coming through and watching this. So it's always a good reminder to bring back what our business is all about. So DAC offers the upside of business ownership, simplified and without any risk whatsoever. We're an 8-year-old Michigan-based company with a proven success record, have been profitable every single year, and we are now moving into phase 2 and poised for massive growth. So we're looking for self-starters. If you're here as a DAC agent, I hope you're a self-starter who's motivated and ready to really grow a side hustle or a full-time business inside the protection of the DAC business model. What does that mean? Well, DAC as a company provides really everything that we need. We're a turnkey business opportunity without any expense. It's absolutely free to be started and get involved with us, but DAC has the customer support. They have the services. They take care of provisioning those services to our customers, and they take care of payroll. So really, we're out here just as the marketing arm, bringing customers to the table to services that are very much needed in the marketplace, whether it be business services or consumer services. And in return, we're going to get paid for the life of that customer. All the contracts that David does with our partners or referral partner companies, he does a perpetual agreement. So if that company ever sells, then we continue getting paid on those customers for years and years to come for the life of that customer. So as a DAC partner, you're going to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Not only do you have the company supporting you, but you also have team leadership like you are seeing tonight with Harlequin and myself and others that are here in the Zoom room, and many others who are on their way to DAC as they're taking a look at our company. Now, building your DAC business, you have the ability to get started and earn a significant income off of personal client bonuses, where you can refer our funding services, lines of credit, those that pay big upfront commissions, as well as employee retention credits. And then you can also earn residual income on your personal customers, right? You can do this all alone, but if you really want to magnify and multiply your income, you can also build a team and get paid matching income bonuses on what your team earns. So talk about team building. Let's go through who the top recruiters were for the week of 11/20 through 11/26. In first place, we had Eric Johnson back in the #1 spot with 10 new recruits. Way to go, Eric. Glad to see you back on the top of the leaderboard there. In second place, we had FinTech Lit LLC with 4 new recruits. Congratulations. Third place, we had Mark Politti with 3 new agent recruits. Congratulations, Mark. And in fourth place, we had a 3-way tie with Anthony Janis, Katina Willis Consults, and Dream Merchants of Beverly Hills, each with 2 new agent recruits. So to be on the leaderboard by name, you had to have at least 2 new recruits. We had several people that had 1. All in all, we had 24 agents who had at least 1 new recruit for this past week. So that wasn't a bad week, considering we had a holiday in there. A lot of times you never know whether holiday week is going to be up or down in recruiting, because it gives them the opportunity to talk to friends and family members. But I usually see it go a little bit down during a holiday week. But hopefully you're gearing up to start recruiting and getting people in front of the new business opportunity that we're going to have in front of us here in the next few days. Excuse me one second. So today, David Rutz, our company founder, on our leadership Zoom. He was talking about all the different services, and as a leader, making sure that we're not trying to poo-poo the idea of whatever it is you want to lead with. Okay. I certainly have my opinions on what the easiest direction is and what's going to generate more conversations, but whatever you want to lead with, I'm really behind you 100%, because you're passionate about something and you're wanting to move forward with it. Okay. So let's take a real quick look at all of our services. DAC started 8 years ago. We started as a business funding platform. So funding is in the middle of the screen there, because that's been our flagship program from day one. But over time, we have evolved into a full financial services platform, where we not only have the funding, where we offer the absolute best offer guarantee to business owners that can't get approved at the bank, excuse me, at their bank. We're their best offer, one-stop solution for them to get the best offer available. We also have unsecured lines of credit now. We have credit card processing, where we also have the best offer there. We have multiple platforms to choose from to get the client in the best solution for their merchant credit card processing. We are connected on the ERC credits, where you can get some big commissions. I have a frontline agent who has earned a $30,000 commission just by referring 1 client to get the ERC bonus or credit back. That client got over $700,000 back, right? And that's a lot of money for them to have back into their accounts. And in return, the referring agent earned $30,000. So a lot of big money on some of our bonus clients. And then we have our pay cards where employees can do their earned wage access through our pay card system, where an employer group would sign up and then they choose to pay their employees with our pay card through Relevate. And now we have our healthcare division, which I'm really excited about, because this healthcare division gives everybody that gets started with DAC the opportunity to have something that they can market. Okay. Those first few products that I mentioned are all B2B and business services. So even though people would get started with us and see the opportunity to make big upfront money, thousands of dollars in commissions off of one client, like I just gave the example on the ERC, the reality is that most people won't talk to business owners, or they won't talk to enough business owners. So having our healthcare services and our consumer services is really a game changer and gives us the ability to grow at a rapid pace, bringing on people that can really make an impact in their local community, talking to friends, family, neighbors, relatives. You know, anybody next door could potentially use our healthcare, where we can offer them a savings, or our flat fee RX. Right now, we believe that this flat fee RX program, hang on a minute, this flat fee RX program is going to be a game changer. Let me see, where'd that go? I think I lost this slide. Maybe, let me go back. Okay, so those are our services. There's no licensing or experience needed or required for anything that we market. Every service is supported by industry experts who are going to help onboard your customers. You simply are a referring partner. Refer those potential clients to your personalized website provided to you for free by DAC. And again, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So let's break that down. This is our website. We've added the healthcare division. If you're not up to speed on what we're doing, if you go to davidallencapital.com, this is our financial services platform, the main David Allen Capital page. But over in the top right, we have a healthcare division link that is going to take you over to our healthcare division. Notice the new domain for our healthcare division is dachealthcare.com. When we initially launched this program, there was an extension on davidallencapital.com/healthcare or health share. Those links are not working. So make sure that you go in and correct the links and make it dachealthcare.com if you've been putting anything out there about our healthcare program since that first launched. Okay. And again, we have individual employer plans and flat fee RX. And there's not a group of any size that we cannot help. So one person to hundreds of thousands, we have a solution for them on our healthcare platform. Here's our DAC RX. That's the slide I was looking for. We believe that this program is going to put DAC into massive growth, because we believe it is a viral product. It is a remarkable product where people are going to see this, they're going to see the benefit of it, and they're going to start sharing it with friends and family. And in return, we as the referring agent are going to get credit for those referrals. So just think about how many people. The average American is spending $1,600 a year on prescription medications. I've talked to many people about our program so far, and even people that have prescription drug programs as part of their health care, they're still paying out of pocket. And even if they're only paying $6 or $7 per prescription out of pocket, if they've got 3 that they're paying $7 a month out of pocket on, our program is equivalent and is a break-even point for them, even with health insurance and even with a prescription plan that's tied to their health insurance. But many people are paying far more than that out of pocket because their healthcare plan doesn't have a great RX program with it. This program can also be marketed to anyone, any age. If they're taking prescription medication, they can use our RX program, and it covers pet meds. If pet meds are the human formulary, which most of them are, then those, if they're on their formulary list of 605 medications, then they can be a part of the program as well. So we're real excited about that. In fact, we've got our 50 and 50 Healthcare Challenge group in the Facebook group there. If you are not already a member of that, search Facebook in the Facebook group section, do DAC 50 and 50. This was created with Harlequin's idea that we were rolling into the last 50 days of the year. And she said, let's do a challenge. And we created 50 and 50 because multiple reasons. One, 50 and 50 is for you to have at least 50 conversations and have 50 clients in process by the end of the year or within your first 50 days in DAC. It's not hard to do. The hard part is getting people to move off of the dime and get going in the starting position to start having conversations. Because to be a business for yourself, you've got to talk to people. No business transacts unless there's communication. Some people are really good at social media and some people are really good at putting out videos on YouTube and attracting people that way. But the majority of folks are going to be relying, like me, relying on having conversations through text message or an email or picking up the phone and talking to someone. I personally prefer to talk to someone. I might send them a text message and ask, are they available to chat for a minute? And if they say, yeah, then I'll call them and talk to them about whatever it is I'm wanting to ask about, right? But we've got that in place to help support you in growing your business and bringing on some of these consumer products. We also have team meetings in place. Tomorrow, we've got healthcare again with Jake. Boy, these meetings that Jake has been leading every single week about our healthcare program, they have been on point and he has delivered some golden nuggets each and every single week. He's talking about different examples. He's talked about scheduling and being more efficient. He's talked about sales strategies. So make sure you're plugging in with that. We now have that in a playlist on the DAC YouTube channel. I sent that out in the email the other day, so you can go back and watch the most recent training and then go from the bottom up to the top to see all of the trainings that he's done. But every one of them are very good. Jake is Vice President of Sales at Clearwater Benefits, which is our backbone provider for our healthcare program. And then Wednesday, we have funding with Wade Cordell. He is the expert on all of our funding platform over at Bank Breezy. He runs Bank Breezy and he has interaction with every single client that applies for funding through the DAC Bank Breezy platform. And then Friday, we're going to hear from our CEO and President, David Rutz. He'll give us an agent update and hopefully we'll have more new enhancements ready to announce by Friday, if not before. All right. So let's talk about getting the conversation started. We've been focused on the flat fee RX program. So I want to bring back the conversation about healthcare. Okay. What are you doing for healthcare? That's all I'm asking when I talk to people to get the conversation started, whether it's a business owner or whether it's an individual. I'm asking the question, what are you guys doing for healthcare? Or what is your company doing for healthcare? Right? Ask an open-end question and let them talk. You'll be amazed at the conversation that gets started. If they already have coverage or they talk about what they've got going on, say, well, I don't know if you're open to it or not, but our company has an incredible healthcare platform, and we're typically saving customers about 60% versus what they're currently paying on insurance. It's better coverage at a better price. I'd love to get you in contact with our benefits team if you're open to getting a quote and talking about how much money we'd be able to save you. And then I know some bullet points off of the website. I know that on average, an individual is saving $8,000 a year. Those are the numbers that we're seeing statistically. I also know that if it is an employer group, that we're saving on average $4,000 a year per employee in that employer group. I talked to a client the other day, one of my limousine clients who happens to be running an 1,100 person employee group. And I asked him that question about healthcare, and he was telling me who was in charge of it and what's going on. And then when I had an opportunity to bring it back around to him, I said, I don't know if you had an opportunity to mention to your, whatever the guy's name was, about healthcare, but I was doing the numbers, and if you guys have 1,100 employees, you're potentially looking at about $4.4 million in wasted money going out the door right now on healthcare. I'd love to get our team together to get a quote for you to see if we could put that money back into your pocket. So $4.4 million, a lot of money, right? But those are the numbers. And I know this just because I've been studying the website. That information is also there on our flyer. So the more conversations you have, as we learned from our 50 and 50 power hour last night, some of the folks that were chiming in were saying, yeah, I'm having conversations and I'm running into this and I'm running into that. Guess what? The more things you run into and the more conversations you have, the better you become at answering questions and overcoming objections and knowing what to say. Because every time you have a conversation with someone and you give a response, most of the time you're going to walk away and go, man, I should have said, and you'll remember next time when you forgot to mention something or you said something that you wish you'd said a little bit differently. It'll come back around. But conversation after conversation will lead to you getting better every time. All right. So in a nutshell, on our Health Share program, I always talk about healthcare, not specifically Health Share, because we do have the comprehensive benefits where we offer Health Share, we offer major medical and supplemental plans. So I don't like to just pinpoint it in the Health Share, even though that's the program that we're really wanting to sell because that's the one that we get paid on. But the benefits team is going to determine if the client is a good fit for that. I had one today that has been in process, and I got response back that after looking at the group, they had two companies, and I've shared this with y'all. There were two separate companies, and each of those companies had at least one employee in the company that had some major pre-existing conditions that really kind of eliminated them from being a good candidate from our Health Share. So moving forward, they're going to stick with what they had, even though it's more expensive. But the owner's wife is coming on board with a personal plan for herself. So she's going to be in our system as a user of our Health Share. That way she's got the see it, touch it, feel it experience as they roll into what they're going to be doing next year. So I think that's a great move to at least have that personal testimonial, personal hands-on action with the healthcare. But here's how it works. People get caught up on it not being an insurance product, but it works exactly like insurance. Okay. The client receives a membership benefits card, get it in the mail, looks just like this. In fact, this is my card, cover up my information. Okay. It's got Clearwater benefits on it. But when you get the card, the network is the PHCS network, which is the largest PPO network in the nation. You'll present that card. When you go to the doctor, you'll be able to look up on the website to search for providers to see if the doctors or the specialist or the hospital or the urgent care or whatever facility you're going to make sure that they're in network if you're going for those routine visits. And then when you get to the doctor, you're going to present your card. They're going to put you in the system and they're going to tell you what your copay is. In fact, the card, I'm on the advanced plan, and my card tells me exactly what the copay is for each service, right? So I know if it's a preventative care, it's free. If it's a primary visit, it's a $20 copay. If it's an urgent care, it's a $50 copay. If I have blood work, it's a $10 copay. MRI, something of that nature, it's a $200 copay. And when I get into those higher dollar copays, there's actually care coordination that I can call them and say, hey, my doctor's scheduled me for an MRI. Can you see if there is a facility that you can coordinate that care for me so I don't have to pay the $200 copay for that? And they'll do that so that I don't have to pay that out of pocket whatsoever. So that's how it works. I present the card, whatever my copay is, I pay it there at the doctor's office at the visit. Then they are going to bill Clearwater right? They're going to bill them, who is the plan administrator. And then after that's been billed, I'm going to get an explanation of benefits in the mail, just like I would with Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, all of the big carriers. It's the exact same process. So it feels exactly like insurance, even though legally we can't say it is. And the benefit of it not being insurance is that you and I can get paid on it without having to be licensed. It's the same plan in all 50 states. So when somebody is traveling outside of their home state, they have the benefits and coverage wherever they are nationwide. In fact, they're covered globally. If they travel outside the United States, they still have the same benefits that they would have here. And it's really a better plan. A lot of traditional insurance plans have a lot of limitations on them that our plans don't have. So get to know that. And again, start the conversation. What are you guys doing for healthcare? Okay. And then on getting the conversation started with RX, I'm asking directly if it's somebody that I know closely. I'll say, hey, are you guys spending more than $20 a month on your prescription medications? But if it's someone that I don't know real well and don't want to pinpoint them on that, are you doing it? I may say, do you know anyone who is spending over $20 a month on prescription drugs, to get the conversation started? So instead of trying to tell what we have and instead of trying to sell the benefits of what we have, if you'll just start out with a question and ask to get the conversation started, I think you'll find that you'll get much further along in the conversation. Now, talking about our program, I want to go back to the compensation for a minute, because compensation really is what drives behavior. You guys are here to make money. I'm sure you didn't just sign up in DAC to become an agent just so you can get on Zooms and hear Harlequin and I and David Rutz and Wade and Jake and everybody talk. You came here with the hopes of making money and being able to change your current financial situation. So understand, our compensation plan has many layers, many complex layers, and multiple ways to get paid, but it boils down to basically getting paid two ways. One, we have some services that pay one-time bonuses, and those are paid through our bonus plan. Typically, as soon as the client receives their money for funding, the employee retention credit, lines of credit, those big financial services, those pay one-time bonuses, and we get paid the day after the client gets paid, or in the ERC process, after the client has paid our CPAs, then we get paid thereafter. But our other services pay residual, reoccurring monthly income, and that gets paid through our residual plan, which gets paid on a monthly basis. The beauty of the residual plan is you know what your income is, and you can see it start building and increasing and being more consistent than the bonus revenue. But if you're building, and especially if you're building a team, you're going to have money coming in from the residual side as well as money coming in from the bonus side. And we'll give you an example of that in just a minute. But all of our services, whether it's residual or funding, all of it puts money into the residual compensation plan. But it's all going to start with you building a personal client base. You're going to learn how you can get paid on bonuses, the residual income, earn car allowances once you get to area director, earning $400 a month, car bonus where you don't have to buy a car at all. You can use that extra money to do with whatever. I love that because so many companies require you to buy a car, or it has to be a certain color for you to even get that car bonus. And then people fall out of qualifications. They're stuck with a car that they've put their credit on the line to buy. Now they're no longer qualified for that bonus. I've seen that time and time again. In fact, there was a company that I was involved with several years ago where you hit a regional manager or regional director rank and you earned a car, and they would pay up to $700 a month on the car bonus, but it had to be a black BMW, right? Specific vehicle. It could be any model. It could even be a BMW motorcycle, but it had to be a BMW for you to get the car. And getting the car was very prestigious. But I heard recently that some of the local car dealers got to the point where they wouldn't finance a car if it was for that particular company, because they had so many of them that were defaulting, because people would qualify and pay for it for a couple of months, and then they fell out of qualifications and the company quit paying the bonus, which meant that that rep couldn't pay for the car anymore. So I love that David does our car allowances where it's just extra money. If you fall out of qualifications and you don't get that extra money, hopefully you haven't put your name out there on the line for something that you might not could afford without that. Then we've got expense accounts, revenue sharing, and you can earn equity shares in our compensation plan. So be here to win. We're going to talk about this every week, where you've got to get personal customers. You want to get to a minimum of 200 personal residual revenue and be shooting for 1,000 personal residual revenue so that you earn what's called our 7-level bump up. Those of you that have been with DAC for a while, you have until May 1st of next year to hit at least 1,000 in personal residual revenue, or you're going to miss out on the opportunity to qualify for that additional 7-level bump up, which means you can earn at least an extra 25% on your whole team if you qualify. So you want to get busy getting residual customers, right? And the easiest way to get there and stay there is through healthcare, because that's a service that people are going to order now, and they're going to stay on the program month after month. So you may have, let's say you start out with 5 customers the first month, and you've got 200 in personal residual revenue, and then you add 5 more customers the next month. You still got the 200 points from the first month. Now you got 200 more the second month. So now after 2 months, you're up to 400 residual revenue. And let's say that you add 10 more customers the third month, because you've had conversations, and some of those people that you've had conversations with are now coming on board the third month. So you had 200, then 200 more, you're at 400. Now you had 10 people come on, 10 times 40, that's 400 more points. So now you're up to 800 residual revenue points in this 3-month example that I just gave you on bringing in 5, then 5, and then 10, because your first 2 months conversations have now snowballed into 10 new customers coming on. So that's really what's beautiful about residual, is those customers keep building and those numbers keep going up as long as you keep adding more customers to the mix. And that's where your big money is going to be initially, off of your personal customers. But I want to talk to you real quick about how to get paid on your entire team. Dave referenced this. This is an important number to know. If you don't have at least 50 personal residual revenue points, you're not even a qualified agent. You're just an agent with a number in our compensation plan, okay? So if you're actively wanting to build a business here, go get at least 50 points so that you're qualified. And if somebody on your team gets any customers whatsoever, if you don't have at least 50 personal residual revenue points, you're not going to make a penny in residuals on them, because you're not eligible to. If you don't have 50, you don't make anything on your team. If you do have 50, you're going to get paid on 3 compressed levels in your organization. If you get to 100 personal points and have some team growth, then you'll get paid on 4 levels at 25%. When you get to 150, you get paid on 6 levels deep in your group. And then when you get to 200 points personal with team activity, then you get paid on 7 levels. And that is our 7-level residual plan. But it doesn't stop at just 7 levels for those of you who want to win. So I want to play this video. This is an excerpt from a video that David Rutz did recently, shortly after we launched our healthcare. But I was looking back through, thinking about what I wanted to talk about tonight. We've got so many people that are just plugging back in because of healthcare and because of the RX program launch, that I wanted to bring this back around to everybody's attention. So let me make sure you can hear this. If not, Harlequin, please stop me. But you got to believe that you can do this, because these numbers that David's about to show are amazing. I've seen it happen with my own eyes, my own experience with other companies, and I know it's going to happen here. It's just a matter of how much of this are you going to get a piece of?
To this. That's a dad joke. You got 4 people here. How many are active? I mean, you got 40, but 4 are active. How many customers are they getting? Let's just say they got the 200 qualification, 200 residual revenue, 200 residual revenue, 200 residual revenue, and 200 residual revenue. Okay? So they're all making 40 bucks. Remember, you make 20% of your residual revenue. So they're all making $40 in personal commission.
Now, what's going on with my internet there? Sorry about that.
See, $40. Okay? You're making your enroller bonus on that. Let's say you're at 50% level for simplicity. You're making 20, 20, 20, 20. You're only making 80 bucks. You're not getting rich, right? Okay, you got it? Got it. But they have a team. And those 4 all introduce 4. They introduce a lot more 4, but only 4 are active. Now you're at 16 on level 2. You've seen these type things done before. And I don't like showing them, but I need to show exponential growth. 64, 256, 1,024. Let's just stop there. Let's just stop there. Do you believe you can have 1,000 people in your team eventually?
Okay, so if you're not following this, he's given because of the delay, he's given the example of you having 4 people and those that are active and those 4 people getting 4. So your second level, you've got 16. Those 16 people get 4. So your third level, you've got 64 times 4 each. You've got 256 and so on. So go back to the video.
People on here that have got 1,000 personally enrolled agents. People watching this right now have 1,000 personally enrolled agents in DAC. So is it possible that you can have 1,000 in your whole team? It's free. 90% will not be active. We get it. We get it. So let me just show you a number here. Let's just say all these people just had 100 residual revenue. Some are going to have a 2,000, some are going to have 1,000, many are going to have 0. But for sake of math, let's just say they have 100. So you have 1,600 residual revenue here. You have 6,400 here, like 25,600 there, and you have 100,000. So that's 125,000 residual revenue, 130,000 residual revenue. 130,000 residual revenue, which does not count funding. Okay, this is just on the residual revenue. 130,000. If everyone was at the basic 20% income only, no one bumped themselves up to more, just 20%. What's 20% of 130,000? $26,000 in personal commissions are paid in your group. 26,000 in personal commissions. Okay. Now, it's all in your 7 levels, which means you're getting a 30% match of this 26,000. It's all in your first 7 levels. Do you realize you get a 30% match? Let me look at this to make sure. I think you get 25, but we're going to say you're at the 30% level. Forgive me, I wrote so many different plans and I've looked at so many different numbers. David, why don't you have it committed to memory? I will eventually. All you got to do is do this presentation 3 or 4 times. Some of you are shouting it out. I know you're shouting it out. I know eventually it's 30. The way I look at it, you need to be at 30. 30% residual revenue. Bear with me 1 minute. This is what exploring your pay plan looks like. Sometimes you got to look a few times. Okay, it's 25% match up until national director. Okay, so let me use 25% match then instead of 30. Because you get overrides at 30. That's what I was thinking. But we're not going to get to that. So let's just say you're at the 25% match. 25% of this, so you got 130,000 in residual revenue. That means there's $26,000 in personal commissions. How'd I get that? Because minimum personal commission is 20%. 20% of 130,000 is 26,000, and personal commissions got paid out to the group on this 130,000 residual revenue. Now you happen to make a 25% match of all the personal commissions in your team. Just in the 7-level match. What's 25% of 26,000? 5,200 plus 5% of that is 1,000, 1,300. So 6,500, is that right? 6,500 a month residually you'd be earning if your team just had a small group like this, 130,000 residual revenue in it. Just in the personal 7-level payout. Now, if you had a group like this, you'd also be an area director minimum, which is another 30. So this is 6,500 in your 7-level payout. This is on a small group of 130,000 bucks. 130,000. Some of you have been in network marketing, go, man, to make 6,500, you got to have $800,000 in group. I've got a residual check right now that I get about $3,000, and it's on 200,000 in revenue. 3,000 bucks on 200,000 in revenue. Here's 130,000 in revenue, and it's 6,500 already, just in our 7-level match. Now, let's go a step further. You also have the area director leadership override of another 30% match. What's 30% of that? 7,200. So you're an area director, so you're getting the 6,500 plus the 7,200. And are you coded to some of it? We will say you don't have any coding, but you could be making 20% more. So this does not count your personal commission. It does not count your enroller bonuses. It only counts your 7-level pay and your area director override. You'd be at over $13,000 a month on $130,000 in residual revenue. What's 13,000 into 130,000? About 10%. So about 10% of all your revenue would be going in your pocket. Now, I don't say that you'll ever have a group that does this size, but I'd never limit you and say you're only going to do 130,000. There will be days when we'll have people, there will be months, I'm sure of it, we'll have people doing $1 million a month in residual revenue, and $5 million a month in residual revenue, and $10 million a month in residual revenue, and 20% of that will be personal commissions, and then the match will be shared out. Now, how does funding affect all this? Do you see the bigness of that? I'm not going to oversell it and say, well, what if you had 5? We got 5. We got 5. We got 5. You got 78,125 on your 7th level. And if all those people just made $10 and you made 25% of that $10, just keep in mind, whatever you can get your team to make in personal commissions, you make a 25% match of. If all of them combined made 100 grand a year, you're making 25 grand a year just by helping them all make 100 between them. Not one person made 100 grand in personal commissions. You're making 25% of that 100 grand. So,
all right, I'm going to stop there. In that example, David asked the other day, who wants to run to RVP? That would be RVP at 130,000 group residual revenue right there. So he was pulling that from, there we go. He was pulling that from memory as he was doing that first example. And that was after we launched healthcare. So guys, before we launched healthcare on August the 1st, we really didn't have a residual model to run with these type of numbers. Everything was funding related or payment processing or ERCs, which dump big money into the compensation plan on bonuses. But on the residual side, it's capped at 200 per month. Now we have the ability to get an unlimited number of customers, you know, whether you go one-on-one or whether you talk to small groups and bring in dozens of customers per conversation. That ability is there with our flat fee RX and our healthcare program. And the best part is our team does most of the work for you if you get that referral connected there. So that was the end of the slides that I had for you. Just really wanted to drive that point home. And I love when David goes to the whiteboard and starts drawing circles and doing that explanation. All right. So anybody have any questions? You see anything there in the chat that we need to address, Harlequin? If you're looking at that, before we go to questions, let's do this. Guys, every one of you, I want you to please be honest and put a number in the chat of how many conversations you have had about our healthcare or our RX plan. And if it's 0, put 0 in there. I want to see who's active and who's actually starting to have conversations. It doesn't have to mean that you've signed up clients. It's how many people have you talked to. Let's see some folks putting some numbers here in the chat box. Type them in. All right, we got one that's talked to 25. Way to go. 3, 3, 25, 10, 30, 2 on RX. Awesome. 5, 5, 5. Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all putting your numbers in there. I honestly can't count because I've talked to so many people about healthcare and the RX. I know how many I've got in process and how many I've got on board. 11 just today. Way to go, Janet. Did you have a chamber event today? Nope.
I've been texting people.
People, awesome. That's the way to do it. Get the conversation started. 1. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate your honesty and appreciate your interaction on that. Some of you are still busy putting your game plan together, and I understand that. We've had conversations about getting the flyers and all of the marketing materials that Tyler is working on. For those of you that don't know, Tyler is David Rutz's son, and he's really the guy behind the scenes doing a lot of the IT and stuff, but he is a graphic designer and he is able to just spit out some stuff real quickly for us on the marketing side. However, I know David's getting marketing materials directly from our partners over at My Free Pharmacy on that. So we'll see all of that stuff coming together this week and have some great materials for you there. Okay. Any questions or comments? Raise your hand under reactions. Janet, you got your hand up. What you got for us?
Well, you just kind of jogged my brain when you were talking about the big company. I have a friend whose husband took a new job because he had better health benefits and stuff. And just today she told me he got cut from 60 hours a week down to 40 because of the heat we had here in Texas. We had 2.5 months of over 100 degrees. And so I guess these companies had astronomical. So it just kind of gave me the idea that I'm going to find out who that company is. And if I can save them $4,000 on that healthcare per employee, it's going to help their electric bill.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good, good. Anybody else? Questions, comments, feedback, struggles where you've had a conversation with someone and looking to share there? Hey, Ray, what you got for us tonight?
Can you hear me, Ellen?
I can, yeah.
Hey, Ellen. How you doing? I just wanted to comment. I listened to one of your videos you did on the best home-based business a few days ago that you did. That was really good. I listened to it twice.
Awesome.
And I was so impressed. And that's my comment. Also, I had a question, and maybe I should ask this on the call or maybe email support. So with the Clear healthcare plan, will they eventually have some, like with some insurances, they have it where you can like if you wanted to be go to the gym. And so I don't know if that would be, relevant to the Clear Care or not, but I was just curious, wondering if that would be something that they will eventually add on or no.
I'm not following that. Harlequin, are you following where she's going with that question?
I am actually. I know they have that with a lot of the Medicare plans where they will reimburse you for being part of a gym, for a gym membership.
Fitness.
Yeah, keep you healthy. I don't know if Clearwater has that in their plan for their model. That would be a good question to ask Jake tomorrow at 11:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
And thank you for saying that on that video that Ray's referring to. I titled it Best Home Business, and it's free. I just did a cover page there, posted it on my YouTube channel, but I created that because the BizOp presentation that we have on our partner page is long, and it really doesn't cover the RX program to the extent that I wanted to have it covered. So I created that so that I had something to share to some personal recruits that I'm talking to about being agents, and just popped it up on my YouTube channel. I know I shared that with David Rutz, and he went through it and made some comments on it, on some things that I had done that he really liked. So I can't wait to see what his new version of the corporate presentation is going to be like. But we're going to get to see it here in the next few days. I'm very sure of that.
So can we use that video to share? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a current business presentation, so it includes every service that we market with a little bit more conversation about the consumer services, and that was the intent of that. So, yep, absolutely. Share it
Okay,
away.
thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank
it's got my link and stuff in the bottom of it. But obviously, if you're sharing it with somebody that that here's how I would present it, Ray. If I were sharing that link with someone that I was talking to about business, I would say, hey, I want you to watch this video. The lady that's doing this presentation, her name's Ellen Winn. She's our senior team leader, and I work directly with her. If you decide to join our team, you'll be able to work directly with her as well as part of our organization. That's how I would edify and present it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Anybody else? Harlequin? Anything that we talked about that I didn't cover?
Yeah, well, there is a question in the chat. One, Bob was wanting to get a copy of tonight's presentation, if that's possible.
Sure.
And then he asked if there is a way to find out how much your medications are on this program without signing up. And I know, we've got the list of medications, or the formulary is what it's referred to in the industry. There's 805 of them that are free, that are listed on the plan, or on our website. But then on the others, if you can go ahead and explain, Ellen, how to, if there's a way to check on those.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not. If the drug is not included on the free formulary for the chronic meds that get mailed to the client, the 90-day supply on the chronic medications, or acute medications where you're going to have a prescription for an immediate acute need, you go to your local pharmacy. If it's on the acute formulary, then those are free. But if they're not on either of the free formularies, either acute or chronic, then the customer is going to present the membership card and be able to get a discounted price on it. And we don't know what that is. It's just like if you have Medicare, or if you have Aetna or Blue Cross Blue Shield prescription plans, you can go to CVS, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to Kroger, all these different pharmacies, and they're all going to quote you a different price based on what their pharmacy wants to charge on that discount plan. And that's exactly how it works with this. So you present it. I have a client who used the card recently. One of the medications on an acute situation that she was prescribed was not on the free formulary, but it was discounted. And when the pharmacy ran her checkout price on it, she ran the Medicare cost and then ran the cost on our prescription card. And our prescription card was cheaper than the Medicare discount was. So it's on a case-by-case, drug-by-drug basis, and pharmacy-by-pharmacy basis, unfortunately.
I will add to that, if somebody is, especially if somebody's lower income, once they have signed up, they can work with the people at
My Free Pharmacy.
My Free Pharmacy. Thank you. Trying to get that going there. But they can go and see if there's any special programs that that person might qualify for, where they can get it at an additional discount and or even free. But that's on a prescription, you know, drug by drug basis, and also some of it is income related.
Right. So essentially, when somebody signs up for the membership, they're going to go through and answer out a few questions in their patient portal, just like you would if you're going to go to a doctor's visit. When you go in, you've got to do paperwork with the doctor, letting them know what your health conditions are, what your allergies are, etc. Right? They're going to answer some of those personal health questions in the patient portal once they have signed up and become a member of the Flat Fee RX program. Those questions, once that's answered, then that means their account is activated. Now they're ready to make a call to the 800 number to the customer service team and start talking to them about getting the transfer started on their existing medication. So that team will then make a call to the pharmacy where their prescriptions have been being filled, and they will start the process of getting those moved over. And as Harlequin said, if there's a medication there that's a high price medication that's not on the chronic formulary for free, they will look at it and they will go ahead and do the paperwork to see if they can get patient assistance to try to get those medications for free for the new member of the Flat Fee RX. I got another story on this. I may have shared this last week where I met a group at my local chamber meeting. We have a medical practice here in my local community where they offer low cost healthcare to people that either don't have insurance or just very low income and can't afford insurance. So they don't offer free healthcare. They want to have people keeping their dignity where they don't feel like they're getting stuff for free, but they're doing like $20 visit for them to come. So people that don't even have insurance can come in and kind of be on a copay type basis. And it's kind of on a sliding scale for them too. But I know one of the problems is after meeting with these guys, they're really seeing people come in and get treated, but then they're having difficulty paying for prescriptions. So I reached out to one of the board members that I met at that recent meeting. I reached out to him today and briefly discussed over the phone what we have just launched with our Flat Fee RX program. And he said, "Oh my goodness, Ellen," he said, "this is exactly what we're looking for." He said, "We just had a Zoom meeting yesterday, our board did, discussing the tremendous need for a cost-effective way for our patients to be able to get their prescriptions filled." So if you're not hearing the message that I'm telling you right now, and you're not hearing the message that we've shared when we did the rollout with the program, then take your earplugs out, folks, because what we have, there's a massive need for in the marketplace, and we have something that can really be life-changing for people that have access to it because you start a conversation. So many people that are struggling with health issues are also struggling financially, and they don't know whether they can pay their bills or get their medications. And when I gave that example to him, and he said, "Oh, Ellen," he said, "so many mothers out here that need medications, but they have children. They're going to take care of their children first, and mom is going to be the last one to take care of herself." So we've got a solution that can help that household be able to afford what they need medication wise, and also be able to afford to pay their rent and afford to put food on their table. So get out there and spread the word in your communities, and let's put some numbers on the board for this, put some money in your pocket, but most importantly, put some good faith in your heart out there, spreading the word about what we have to offer here with our RX program. Janet, you got your hand back up?
Yes, I was just looking for clarification because when I asked Avery about the pets, and he said, yes, we can do pets as long as they're doing the same medications as humans. But then David came on a couple weeks later and said, well, you don't have to put your pet's name like in the family plan because they give the prescription to a human, but the pet's name is still on the prescription. Like, and especially if you have more than one dog, they're gonna have, they do the same thing as, I mean, that's like if you have 4 kids, they're not gonna give you just blank prescriptions and say kid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I guess you would need to just talk to your veterinarian, however they do that. I know with my veterinarian, they've had medications that I could have picked up in the office, and they said, I know you can get it cheaper online, because I asked that question and she said, we'll give you a prescription for it. So if I were clear in that and saying, well, make sure you put it in my name so that I can get it filled, then they would. So if that's the case and the vet would not do that, then they may need to upgrade to a family plan where that pet would be part of the family, have the same last name, but a different first name. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I even asked the question, so they're not gonna balk if the prescription is from a veterinarian versus a human doctor.
Not
And he
according to
said,
Avery.
no, but
It's the
I would still think that the pet's name would have to be in the family plan.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, if that becomes an issue, customer service would handle that. So, right, so it'd be an easy call the 800 number and talk to them. And if they were on a single plan and they said, no, you need to be on a family plan to include your pets, then upgrade and pay the extra $10 a month for a family plan. That
Okay.
should be a simple solution.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying when I'm talking to people, I mean, I can do that, but if like somebody else has to do it, if they think they're getting their pet's prescription and then they have to mess around with upgrading their plan and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I would err on the side of what Avery said, because he is the owner's son and he is working in the
Right.
facility. And he point blank said that pet meds are covered as long as it is on the human formulary, then those, and it's on the free plan, then those would be covered as well. So that the name on that may be something that would need to be adjusted at the veterinarian's office. I would just point blank tell my veterinarian, hey, look, I've got a free pharmacy plan. As long as this is written in my name, they will fill it and they'll ship this to me for free, and just tell them what you need when you do that.
Okay, but like they're not gonna know that you're not the diabetic if you're.
Yeah. Maybe ask.
It's confusing to me.
Support. Send an email to support at David Allen Capital and get some clarification on that, and then share with us what they said, because they'll send that directly over to my free pharmacy. Okay.
Okay, or maybe because I've already signed up for the single plan, I could just go directly to my free pharmacy to
And
find
you
out.
did that, and then share with us what their response was, because there's an email address or phone number for them, right? As a support.
Okay. I think so. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, thanks, Janet. Hey, Mike, how are you tonight? I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
My question is something that I don't have a lot of personal knowledge of, but isn't birth control covered in the plan? And I don't know what the cost of that is for someone, but is it enough to attract people to the plan because they're having to pay for birth control?
Oh, that's a good question. That's not
It
one
is
that.
covered. It is covered. There's a long list of different birth control medications that are on there.
Good, yeah, I was just gonna pull up the website and go search our full drug list, because that's on there by category, but interesting, that's one I had not had a question of. I guess that goes to show I'm talking to an older audience that's not
Well,
concerned.
obviously I'm not a candidate, but there would be doctors' offices that prescribe that. There's a whole younger generation that's probably using the products. I just don't know what they cost. So I didn't know if that's
Yes,
enough.
$19.95 a month, and they're free. That's a great question.
Yeah, there's about 20 different types that are on the list.
Okay, awesome. And Harlequin, tell everybody where you found that, just for everybody's benefit.
Okay, so you know what? Let me do a screen share. Let me pull it up real quick, and then I'll put it onto screen share to show everybody how to get to it. Let's see, new window. Just a second.
You about there with it?
Okay. Yeah, just one second. Sorry about that. I had to pull it up. Um. So
If you don't have it, I have my screen up.
I do. There we go. Okay, so what the easiest way to do it is to go on the main, this is the main screen.
DAChealthcare.com/RX. And then
Yes.
/ your ID number would be your personal page.
Yeah. But you go to the view full drug list. And then go down a little bit. Now, I will tell you, there's 2 buttons here. It says search our full drug list. That one, I find it a little bit challenging to look it up because if you misspell the drug name or you don't know exactly what it's for, if somebody tells you, oh yeah, I take such and such, and you don't know what it is, because here I'll show you. Yeah, you have to put in either the drug name or what class it's in. And if you don't happen to know that it's an eye antibiotic, you may not be able to find it.
See if the birth control is listed there in that online directory you were just on.
Okay.
Under birth control, it may be under women's
It's
health.
under oral contraceptives.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so see, here's the list of all of them.
And that's a 90-day supply.
Yeah. So it's definitely on there. But
Right.
The other button, download our formulary, that is the full list. That is written in very small print.
And show people how to do the F or,
Okay, yeah, if you do Control F.
and that's just pressing the button on your keyboard, the control button and F at the same time for find. Then it pops
Right.
up that box and you can start typing it.
Okay, and let's see. Only because I can see it on here, I'm going to type in prednisone and do a search and see it's finding 8 different locations for it. So the first one, it came up down here. And then prednisone happens to have the same generic name as well as the other. So that's where there's 4 of them. So it's an anti-inflammatory steroid, and it's also listed on the acute as well as the chronic. So there's 4 different things right there.
The different dosages, yep.
Yeah, the
Okay.
different dosages. So, but what I have done, you can go and I've actually saved this, and if you buy a domain name, what I've done is you can go and use your domain name. Here, I'm going to take it off a screen share. I've actually gone and you can do like list dot and then whatever your
Creating a
domain
subdomain.
name is. Yeah, do a subdomain and have it go directly to that. I bought a .info. So I have a .com that goes to the main page, and then I have a .info that goes to the list of the drugs to make it easier for my clients to find it, so they don't have to go and do that search.
Awesome. That's good, as long as that link stays updated. If they make any changes to it, if it stays the same link. If the company
Yeah.
updates, so.
Yeah, you
All
just have
right,
to
any other,
check it out sometimes.
any other questions or comments before we wrap up? Nada. All right, guys. Well, look, we appreciate you, and continue on with your path. Go the path of most resistance initially, and it'll become your path of least resistance. The better you get at having the conversations, and the more conversations you have, it'll just be secondary by nature before you know it. So continue on. Those of you that chimed in on the chat that you're having 2, 5, 10 conversations, I know you'll be posting those numbers in the back office with some signups, and after you get one, you'll get another, and then another, and before you know it, you'll be at 1,000 residual revenue points in no time, and working towards the 2,000 by May 1st, if you were here before then. So thank you again, everybody. Tomorrow, 11:30, we've got Jake coming on with Clearwater Benefits, talking all about healthcare. So we hope to see you on that live Zoom. If not, we'll be sending out the replay. All right. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome evening. See you on the next one.